last night was opening day for the Arizona Diamondbacks, actually for all of baseball. I got invited to the game.
How was it?
Oh, I said I couldn't go.
Of course you did.
My excuse was I couldn't go. My wife's in New York. My wife was at the U of A Duke game last night, right, by herself. Well, she ended up, obviously she knows everybody. She had all these friends there. She went to the game, and she had booked her hotel because she was supposed to come home yesterday, but when the U of A Duke game for Sweet 16 was last night, she was like, oh, I'll just stay. So she ran out of clothes, right? She had to buy, one of those Sweet 16 shirts. She booked her hotel, which she was pretty sure was where the team was staying. Turns out, wrong team.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She was with the Duke people.
Oh, she was a good luck charm for them.
She was with all the Duke people. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it was fun. I woke up this morning and found out that they didn't, U of A did not win. But anyway.
They put up a good fight, though,
They did.
against a pretty amazing team.
Yeah.
That Duke team is insane. They were literally, the announcers were saying that that's the tallest team in the NCAA. Like, the shortest person they have on that team is 6'6".
Wow. Did
Like,
you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the game. Of course I watched the game.
I saw something at halftime. I'm like, gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Duke
I was
really
like,
Gotta go. Blake's in New York.
Blake's in New York. I literally stopped watching the basketball game, didn't go to the baseball game so I could watch the season finale of Reacher.
How was it?
It's really good. It's really good, you guys. So if you're a fan of just violence and the good guys always winning,
Yeah.
you watch Reacher.
I think I am. That's a really good sell,
Yeah,
actually.
it's on Amazon Prime. So on a total random side note, just in my own little, if I may, just kind of like a little smile. I'm on the radio. I've been on TV. We do TV hits all the time. We were in the Jonas Brothers movie. People have written about us in a book before. We've been in a couple of books, right?
Novels.
A TV show, Richard, and I feel like all forms of media we've been on. And then something happened yesterday that took my own brand to a new level. I was mentioned on a true crime murder podcast.
What?
Wow.
As a potential suspect?
And a couple
Why?
people. There's some podcast, I can't remember the name of it. It's a pretty popular podcast, True Crime. And I had so many people send me the link. And here, I'll play it for you.
You guys, this one's going to be a doozy. Authorities have yet to say why Christopher allegedly shot and murdered his brother. Now, on a local to Arizona note, a prominent Arizona radio DJ was interviewed by local TV affiliate 12 News because he lives in Artie's neighborhood. John Jay of the John Jay and Rich show said he couldn't believe that his quiet neighborhood would have that sort of violence. Now, I couldn't find anything about him knowing Artie, but I do understand that Artie has a wife and 3 children.
Eh?
Wow.
Oh,
I don't know Artie.
Prominent.
Prominent. That's what I was. My whole thing was prominent.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That sounds like AI. She sounds like AI.
Oh, she does?
I wonder if it is like
Yeah.
a true crime AI podcast.
Now, let's
But
But
say...
she couldn't find anything.
Because if you listen to other podcasts, you got Peyton, who's now a public figure,
Yes.
and now I'm prominent. I said this to my
It's amazing,
sister. My
guys.
sister's like, that's incredible. I go, yeah, I'm prominent.
That's pretty good. Now, let's say this podcast was like going over you as like a murder suspect, and they came to talk to me and Kyle. We'd be like, it couldn't be John Jay. He doesn't go anywhere.
Or talk to anyone.
He wouldn't have a problem with his neighbor. He doesn't even know any of his neighbors.
Somehow I inserted myself into this murder story in my neighborhood, and I shouldn't have. And
Why would he have a problem? He's never talked to any of his neighbors. He doesn't know who he doesn't know who lives next door. There's no way he's mad enough to murder
you
them.
can't find out anything about this guy. Yeah, because I was just driving down the street when he started asking me a question. I wasn't planning on going there. Anyway, and now speaking of podcasts, on Sunday, brand new podcast on our radio show. It's going to be on the John Jay and Rich On Demand channel. So if you're listening to the podcast of this right now, a podcast of this, not live. You listen to a podcast of this, same channel. On Sundays, we're now dropping couples therapy podcasts. So it's going to be each one of us with our significant other hosting a segment. And the first one is this Sunday, and it's Rich. So how did that go yesterday?
I actually had a lot of fun doing a podcast with Stacy. She's really funny. Very funny. And she has kind of an opinion about everything. She does not hold back at all. She comes after me a little bit, which is funny. People will enjoy hearing that.
The thing is, though, we asked our audience, we said, hey, if you listen to the show and there's stuff you want to ask Rich and Stacy,
Yeah.
we put it up questions on Facebook and on Instagram. And then we're going to drop the podcast Sunday at 10 a.m. on the on demand channel. And then like next week, it could be Kyle and her husband Fish, or Peyton, Kadeem, or me and Blake. We don't know yet what order it's going to go in. But what were some of the questions?
I brought a clip. Would you guys like to hear a clip?
You guys
Yeah.
brought a clip?
Let me introduce you to the audience. So, Stacy, for those who don't know, I know we've talked about it on this show before, but you have your, correct me if I'm wrong, you have your English master's with an emphasis in writing.
No, that's wrong.
Your favorite color is periwinkle.
That is not true.
Your favorite car is a Honda Accord.
No, it's not.
What is your favorite car?
Why are you saying these things? You know what my favorite car is.
I don't know what her favorite car is.
You didn't know her whatever. Yes, I don't think I know what Blake's degree's in.
Well, I know she has a theology master, but she has another master on top of that. And I thought it was English. I guess not.
So what was it? Oh, we have to listen to the podcast to find out.
Yeah, I bought another clip. You want to hear
another clip? Yeah.
Another clip. What else can you not with? What do you see that you cannot when you see it? Give me a fashion I cannot.
Oh, if you don't match your belt to your shoes, that's annoying. If you're too matchy, that is also annoying.
I love Stacey. She's one of my favorite people. She is so funny.
Now, Cal, when you and Fish hosted, you have some insecurities?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck we're going to talk about that anyone will care about.
Well, we'll ask everyone to ask you questions.
I brought this up to him like that. Because remember I told you a couple weeks back he wanted to do a podcast?
Right.
And I'm like, people don't care about us planning on who's going to pick up who from baseball or football. Like, people don't care. And he's like, that'll be our podcast name. Nobody cares. I'm like, why would anybody care about a podcast that says nobody would care?
Funny.
So as we're talking about, and then I told him, hey, we're going to do a podcast on the show where each couple comes in and does a podcast. And he's like, so now they're trying to steal my thing? Trying to steal my idea? I was like, no. If anything, it'll give us a good idea on why we're not going to do it.
Well, I think what was really helpful is Peyton sent a bunch of questions over from listeners from Facebook, and they're all, asking what life is really like at home, and we want to know that about you guys.
Yeah.
So
Here's what life is like at home. Who's going to pick up puppies? Are you going to go with Addie or am I going with Addie? Are we going to go to practice together? Perfect.
Somebody asked us who's in charge of the house, and I didn't know, so I asked Stacy.
Good.
That's your answer.
I think you'll get some really good questions for Kyle and Fish. Walk us through Sundays. Walk us through Sundays. Domino's Pizza and doing it. Yeah, that is going to be great. Rich's podcast with his wife drops Sunday at 10 a.m. on the John G. and Rich On Demand channel. Kyle, what do you got? 3 things we need to know.
So Blue Origin has set a date for its space flight featuring Katy Perry, Gayle King, Lauren Sanchez. They'll all be on this all-female crew, April 14th in West Texas. They're going to travel to the boundary of Earth's atmosphere. Once they arrive, they will be weightless for roughly 4 minutes. It's going to be the ride of their life. And Gayle King has talked about how she's kind of nervous and scared about it, but also excited at the same time. So it'll be kind of fun to watch their journey because they're going to be streaming the whole thing.
I have a little theory. So I'm like, because, Jeff Bezos is getting married pretty soon, right? And the hype, all this wedding is supposed to be humongous.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, you're one of the richest men in the world. Why are you getting married? Now I'm like, oh, I get it. He's looking like a good guy getting married, but then he's sending her off to space, hoping something goes wrong before the wedding.
So lame.
Something goes
Oh,
wrong.
John
Like, oh my God, such a tragedy.
Turns out they're
I
stranded at the
something like
space
that.
station.
I loved her and I wanted to get married. And
I thought he was putting her on the flight to make everyone else feel more comfortable about it. Like if I'm comfortable enough
that makes
putting
sense.
the love of my life on this flight to know she's safe.
That's probably the actual thing that I hope something happens to
I
her.
mean, we would hope. So some people soft launch their relationships, and that, if you don't know, is when online you post a picture of your hands together at dinner. And so everybody knows you're seeing someone, they don't know exactly who just yet. But experts say soft launching your relationship could actually backfire. It could even breed distrust. So they said the first few dates or months into a new relationship is just assessing how other people are going to react. If you soft launch the relationship, that effectively means you're just gauging the world's perceptions on your relationship before you've had a chance to really figure it out. So the person might start distrusting you because they're like, oh, you care more about the other people's opinions rather than figuring out your own opinion. They also say that it could backfire because your new suitor may not appreciate being kept under wraps. They want the hard launch. They want to
be shown off.
Yeah, how come you're just showing my hand? You don't want to show me? You don't want anyone to know who I am? So just know, if you're preparing to soft launch your relationship, maybe it's something you talk about the person you're dating with. Now, I saw this story and I immediately thought of Nick, our producer, because he's a Disney adult, right? He's a Marvel fan. He loves all the Disney stuff. And I was really excited about this for him. So Disney and Gap are bringing the Muppets to your closet. They just launched a limited edition Muppets fashion capsule. It's got t-shirts, sweatshirts featuring Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, literally the whole cast and crew Animal. They're wearing outfits from Gap's Spring Essentials collection. So, Nick, I know, it's gift time for you, I think.
They're amazing. It's so cool. The Kermit one, he looks so serious.
He's so serious.
Such a
You know, I saw that Kermit the Frog was doing like a college commencement speech somewhere.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah, do you know where that is, Nick? I saw that headline somewhere and I was like, oh, that's silly, but it's real.
Yeah, he's got I can't remember what it is, but he has an honorary degree from that school already.
Kermit does. He's like, you got to be careful about STDs. One chlamydia.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I know Snoop Dogg is doing the commencement speech for the USC College of Business
that's cool.
this year. I'm like, that's awesome. Everyone, cut to everyone trying to enter the College School of Business and graduate this year. And that's 3 things you need to know.
It's Friday. It's horoscope time. What's the vibe today, Peyton?
I'm going to be telling you what kind of driver you are based on your zodiac sign.
Jen, good morning. What's your sign?
Good morning, Aquarius.
Okay, Aquarius, you're the one who drives like they're in a sci-fi movie. Aquarius, you definitely talk to your car like it's an AI assistant. You love all the newest car tech, and if your car doesn't have autopilot, you just don't want it. You drive like you're above traffic laws, which means you're going to randomly go really fast and then go really slow because you're thinking about something super deep.
Oh, for sure. I spent 90% of my time in the carpool lane today, so that's for sure.
There it is.
Thanks, Jen.
Did you guys see that new bill, apparently?
Yeah.
That's being proposed about how electric vehicles can no longer go in the HOV lane solo?
I don't like that at all. That's the only reason I have an electric
I was
car.
going to say, I think that was one of the benefits
That's
back in the
the
day.
one benefit.
Right?
Yeah.
The one.
It's like
I'm glad that they did.
you can't trust these people.
No.
Like I know I saw like in California, like now you can only charge your car at certain times because of the electricity shortage or something like that.
I'll tell you, if I've had 3 electric cars, I will never buy another new electric car.
Really?
I won't do it. Need gas.
Julian, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Julian. What's your sign?
Taurus.
Okay, Taurus, you're the chill driver. You're never in a rush, and you've got those heated seats on, a coffee in one hand, and your perfectly curated playlist going. And if somebody honks at you, you literally just do not care. You'll get there when you get there, and you will absolutely stop for snacks on the way.
That is definitely accurate.
Yeah.
Thanks, Julian. Thank you, Julian. Have a great day, Julian.
Julian?
Mike, what's up, dog?
Good morning. Happy Friday, fam. Let's see what the Virgos drive.
Wait, before she does Virgo, for some reason, Nick has you on the screen as Rivian Mike. Is that what you drive, an electric Rivian?
I do not drive them. I work on them. I fix them and keep them on the road.
Oh, you work on them. Interesting. And yet, are you driving a gas
I
car?
am a mechanic. I am driving a 2007 Toyota Yaris.
Is that electric?
Yes. No, it's a gas.
Oh, that's too bad it's not, because you're going to go, Yaris. That's why I call it the Toyota Yaris. All
It
right.
doesn't even have power windows. I have manual windows on it.
That's awesome.
Throwback.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got for Virgo, Peyton?
Well, for Virgo, John Jay, I don't think that this rings true to you at all, but maybe some other Virgos out there, maybe Mike, you can relate. Virgo, your turn signal has been on for like 5 full seconds before you even think about merging. You follow every traffic rule perfectly, and the idea of not fully stopping at stop signs gives you anxiety. And if somebody does something illegal in front of you, you will judge them and possibly call the authorities.
No, that is definitely me. I'm from California, so I love the California stop.
It's the best.
I know there's a Virgo out there that
Yeah.
relates. I'm talking to you.
All right, Mike, drive safe, dog. How about Hudson? What's up, dude? What's your sign?
Hi, I'm a Leo.
Okay, me too. Okay, Leos, I don't think that this rings true for me, but maybe for you, Hudson. The one who thinks they own the road. Leo, we are convinced that we are the main character on the highway. Our car is always clean. Not true for me. Your sunglasses are always on. Not true for me. And if somebody dares to go slower in front of you, unacceptable. That is facts. You love when people stare at your car at a red light because, let's be honest, us Leos, we just look that good behind the wheel.
Yeah, I don't have a car myself. I'm only 12, but that's
Oh, when you start driving, Hudson, you're going to be the main character.
What
You're
about on your
gonna
bike? Same thing on your bike. How about for Kyle, Pisces? I'm sorry, Libra.
Kyle for Libra. When it comes to the roads, you are the indecisive lane changer. Libra, you cannot decide which lane is best, so you just keep switching. You're the type to slow down to let someone in and then wave apologetically when you realize you actually needed to be back in their lane, and your biggest struggle is just choosing which drive-through to stop at on a road trip.
Okay, first of all, the far left lane is the only lane to be in.
That's true.
Anytime I'm driving, that is the lane I am in.
Whenever I've seen you, you're passing me on the highway.
I have a snapshot in my head of Kyle driving, and it's like I feel like she's so close to the steering wheel and drives so fast.
I don't feel like I'm close to the
Because
steering
I think
wheel.
you're little. So you're little, so maybe to you it's not, but when I see you, it's like, here's the steering wheel, and here's you.
She's like Mario Kart.
All right, if we didn't get to your sign, I'll post on our website, JJRECAST.com. It's time for Stacks and Hacks. I have Stacks information. Rich has life hacks. I sent this to our group chat last night because I was so excited. New report says that 78% of Gen Zers listen to the radio. The headline declared, radio is back. And Gen Z's listening habits are changing the face of media. So thank you for listening to us, no matter what Gen you are. Gen X, Boomers, Millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Alpha, thank you.
Think of us as a totally live podcast. That's what we are.
That's what we are. A new list of the top signs you need a vacation include feeling burnt out, daydreaming about a trip, and getting irritated with others. The baby brand Frida is debuting breast milk ice cream. I saw Peyton talk about this.
Yeah, gross.
They claim it's not an April Fool's joke. It's made with real breast milk, and it tastes like it, apparently.
Why?
Why?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do we need that for? I remember one time my mom had told me a story. She's a realtor, so when she sells houses, like a lot of times her clients will gift her things, and they made her mac and cheese. And my mom went to go eat the mac and cheese, and she had looked at the text from the girl that gave it to her, and she had made the mac and cheese with her breast milk and gave it to our family to eat.
Oh, no wonder you don't eat
I
other
think if
people's
you're going to buy breast milk ice cream, there should be a picture of the breasts that made that ice cream.
Of course, John Jay. Oh my gosh.
No.
A restaurant in Indiana didn't pay a plumber for clearing a pipe, so the plumber went back the next day and reclogged it with a balloon. Could have caused so much damage. Brat Summer was last year. Now influencers are having what's called Dilly Dally Spring. That's where you go out, but you do nothing important.
You're just dilly-dallying.
I've done that my whole life. USA Today did a story on loyalty testers, people you can hire to flirt with your significant other to see if they'd ever cheat on you.
That's dangerous. Very dangerous. Although I guess we do that with War of the Roses, so who are we to talk?
What do you got for life hacks?
The Zoom call's not going away, people. It's a sad fact of life. We all were hoping that once the Rona ended that we wouldn't have to do Zoom calls, but it is a fact of life. And you know what people on the Zoom call notice the most is that you're looking at yourself and you're not paying attention to what they're saying. So if you're trying to get a job, if you're trying to influence somebody, if you're trying to encourage engagement, I've got the hack that's going to save you from looking like you're disinterested. What you need to do is this. Tape a little picture of something that you like to look at. It could be the face of your child, your sweetie, or just something that you find nice to look at and put it next to the camera. So that way you'll look at that and it'll look like you're looking at the camera instead of looking to see what you look like on the Zoom call. And you will seem like you're more engaged in the conversation, and then you'll probably get hired for some great job because they do a lot of Zoom interviews too. So try that out. That hack can be found at johnjrich.com.
So yesterday it was a pretty cool moment. We had a band in the studio. They performed yesterday. They performed last night at the Van Buren. And they come and they hung out with us, and then they performed in our little special studio. And I believe it's a podcast. Has our interview with them? I'm assuming it's yesterday's podcast. No? Anyone know? Afterwards? Yeah, it is. Okay, it was afterwards podcast. The band is called Johnny Swim. And while we're talking to the band, their husband and wife, really nice people, it comes out that the daughter, or the woman, the wife, Amanda, she's the daughter of Donna Summer, disco legend. And then somehow, I didn't know this till this morning, that Peyton, you had like some epiphany.
Yeah. So yesterday, everyone, we were in the podcast, and I'm sitting next to Kyle, and everyone's talking about Donna Summer, and this is Donna Summer's daughter. And in my head, I'm like, who's Donna Summer? Right? But you guys are talking about her like she's this iconic artist, right?
She's a disco queen.
Yeah,
She's a
so
queen. Remember, because her husband said royalty?
Yeah, and that's what. And so I was very confused for the majority of it when we were talking about that. So after I had asked Kyle, I was like, Kyle, who is Donna Summers? And she started singing a Donna Summer song to me, and I was like, oh, I totally know that song.
Okay, wait. It's Donna Summer.
Yeah.
Not Summers.
Sorry, Donna Summer.
What song did you start singing to her, Kyle?
Like, ooh, love to love you, baby. Ooh. And the was like, oh my God, I know that song. I know that. I'm like, I bet you know a lot of her songs, quite honestly.
I bet you know tons of her songs.
So I get into the car, and I'm like, I wonder which Donna Summer songs I know. So I start scrolling, and then I come across this song, and I'm like, this can't be Donna Summer. So I click on it, and it just instantly transported me back to when I was 8 years old, and I danced. And the most traumatizing thing ever happened to me. And what had happened, it was to this song.
This is a slammer.
Literal me, just 8 years old, dancing. And I'm looking in the crowd, and all of a sudden I see everybody's hands start covering their mouths. And I'm like, what's going on? And I see my mom in the background pointing like down. And my entire top fell off.
Oh my God. Oh, that is humiliating.
They didn't stop the track and tell you to cover up.
Oh my goodness, someone. And so I pulled it. I'm like holding my shirt up, and I remember my mom wasn't the person that was helping me put my costume on. And I remember my mom was like a little like concerned about that, making sure it was safety pinned in the right way. So I remember I finished the dance, and I was like holding it. I finished the dance, and then I wanted to go back out and do it again. And then I forgot my dance completely. And then from that moment on, I never danced ever again. I told my mom, I said, I want to play basketball. I don't want to wear these little dresses and tap shoes. I hate it here.
Wait, so you went out again? You went out again to do it again?
Yeah.
And then forgot how to do the dance.
I literally went out and got.
So it's like twice as traumatizing.
So
you think once your
sad.
top came down, you walked off the stage, you're done.
You blocked this whole genre out of your brain.
Yeah. But you guys didn't know I used to dance back in the day.
Did you listen to any other Donna Summer songs to recognize them all? There's so many.
I listened to On the Radio.
Oh, which is great.
Which was, I've never heard that song actually, because I sent the pictures like in our family group chat, and my grandma was like, "Did they find you on the radio? Get it? Wink, wink."
Something fun to sing and funny on the radio.
Yeah, it was a good song.
And then
I
there's
liked
that, someone left the cake out in the rain.
That's in Beetlejuice, the new Beetlejuice. They play that.
You know that song?
No, I'm familiar from Beetlejuice. But
She doesn't do It's Raining Men, right?
No, that's the Weather Girls.
What else does she have?
Well, she does that song with Barbara Streisand. I said, your mom outsang Barbara Streisand on that. Enough is enough is enough. It's a great song.
Is there? We
Super
don't have Donna.
up-tempo.
You don't have like back in the day. You had that iPod hooked up with all this music.
It's a little slower now, but I can grab something.
Because I just want to be. I want people to be like, oh yeah.
my trauma was brought back to me yesterday.
I think my favorite part of the podcast yesterday is when we addressed Johnny Swim's name.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You totally know this.
You have to listen to the podcast to find out why they call themselves Johnny Swim. Oh, this is a legendary song.
I think this is probably the biggest one.
This is their biggest song? No way.
I think so. I can look here in a
Let's get
second.
to some lyrics. Maybe I'll know it then.
Well, back then we had long intros, so DJs could talk up the intros.
I don't know, guys. Get it, Kyle? I'll get a little concert
Did
over
you not
here.
know this is like in a gajillion movies,
Okay,
too?
okay. I just asked ChatGPT or Google. I said, what's the biggest Donna Summer hit? Hot Stuff, Bad Girls, and Last Dance.
Last
Dance. That's Last Dance. See, you know that song.
I know that one.
Yeah, so that's one of her biggest songs.
That's at all the weddings.
Yes. Oh, it's probably in the middle of the night.
It should be a big karaoke song, too. You know, this jam right here.
So we interviewed her daughter yesterday, and it was really cool.
They were so nice. They really I didn't know a whole lot about them, honestly, them coming in, and they just won me over. Like, I'm a fan now.
I could tell. That's why I could tell. I was like, I booked it all, so I planned it all, and I was kind of like, I mean, Nick did, but I mean, I'm the one that brought the band in, and I was kind of like excited that it went as well as it went.
It went
It
really
was awesome. I actually got a little teary-eyed at one point. I literally told Kai, I was like, I'm about to cry. And it was because they were singing, but together, like, they're married, right? They have this family, and just the way that they look at each other while they're just in their element, I'm like, to just be able to love someone in that way, like, is just such a blessing.
It
I
was
see
so
that
cute. I told
when
you.
Rich looks at me.
Yeah.
I
see
wanted
that.
to take a picture and do one of those memes, like find someone that looks at you.
Yeah.
Like these two look at each
It
other
was
and they
so-
sing.
yeah,
I think what
so
you're picking up is
special.
I got an eye twitch because of you.
This is what I do.
That won't go away.
The band we're talking about is called Johnny Swim, right? They've been around for like 10 years. Anyway, this is the last dance. This is the best part.
So let's dance.
Come on now.
Let's dance.
Let me turn it up in my headphones.
Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance tonight.
So we interviewed Donna Summer's daughter yesterday. She's in the band Johnny Swim, and they were great. They performed at the Van Buren last night, and they were awesome. So check them out. Okay, now, let's switch gears, shall we? Rich, how did you phrase this? You got the call that no one wants to get or something?
It's true. My old roommate, when I lived in San Diego, called me yesterday, and she said, I need to call you. I hope you're in a place where you can talk, because I need to tell you that our friend Pat just lost his battle with cancer.
Oh, that's
I'm
so
sorry.
sad.
So I'm quiet for a second, and I'm trying to figure out who she's talking about, because it doesn't really ring a bell off the top of my head when she says Pat lost his battle with cancer. And I said, what kind of cancer? And she said prostate cancer. And so I reached for a clue to see if I can figure out who she's talking about, because obviously I know. I lived with my roommate for 5 years. We probably had the same exact friend group. And I said, he was so young. And she's like, not really. He was retired. He wasn't really young, but he did work at a hospital, and he was a really good doctor. So you would think that he would get checked more often. So I'm quiet for a minute. I'm like, well, thanks for calling me. And so I go and hang up, and I look up to see if I have his name in my phone, because for my whole life I've been a producer or a radio person that keeps contacts, and I could not find Pat's name in my contacts. So I'm thinking, either I don't remember somebody who was a pretty good friend of mine, or my roommate thinks I know somebody who died and I have no idea who it is. So I go look up the picture, don't recognize him. I look up the service, and I call Stacy, and I'm telling her, and she is no help at all. She's just laughing her head off that I don't remember somebody that passed away. And I'm like, do I send flowers to the funeral? So it's a day later, and I've looked up. I'm not connected to them on Insta or Facebook. Or Facebook for that matter. I have no idea who Pat is, but I'm very sorry for his family. I'm almost 100% sure I have no idea who this is.
Oh my gosh.
Not even close.
You could have played Last Dance for them.
You
But-
need to
and
insert that Kiki Palmer quote.
I'm
What's
pretty.
that?
I do not know that man. I'm sorry to that man.
I think I'm pretty good with names. I think
Are you
I'm
going to
pretty
the
good-
funeral?
I think I'm pretty good with my friends. I'm pretty sure I remember the people in my life. I don't think I've ever really. I don't really forget people, do I? I don't think so.
think that's not like you.
So she may be crazy. I think my roommate might be crazy. But it was like, I needed to call you. I knew you would be upset. And I'm upset for Pat and his family. If you're listening, Pat and his family, my thoughts and prayers. But I don't think I know Pat. I'm pretty sure I don't know Pat.
It's wild.
I don't even know what to compare this to, because I've never had something like this happen to me before, where it's like, wow, that's a really sad story. I don't know anything about him, but okay.
I like how you played it off like it's your roommate. It's someone you know. You could be like, who's Pat?
Right.
I was going to, but I'm like, obviously, I got to figure this out. I need a beat. So I was just kind of going down the road.
That's the Pisces in you.
He was so young. No, he wasn't. He retired. So I hung out with a retired doctor when I was, in my 20s in San Diego. Doesn't ring a bell.
Rich, we did some entertainment news. I saw this. I thought Kelly Clarkson was on a podcast. You see what she said about American Idol? She goes, she didn't know American Idol. Now, this is the first winner of American Idol. She didn't know American Idol was a TV show until her third audition.
Oh,
Why would
wow.
she thought it
What
was?
did they tell her she was
I don't
trying
know.
out for?
I don't know, but it was the third, and then she found out it was. And then she also says that a couple of the coaches, unnamed, she's not going to say who they are, from The Voice, were mean to her back in the day.
I wonder if they're if they try to play nice to her now that they see how huge she is.
Oh, probably.
No, she was huge when she was on The Voice. She was already Kelly Clarkson at that
Clarkson
point.
went on The Voice?
Yeah, she was a
judge,
one of
one
the
of the
chairs.
Oh. Did not know that.
There was news about Selena, the singer Selena, right? The news is that Yolanda didn't get parole.
Yeah, after 30 years, she got denied her parole to get out.
What do you have on Prince Harry, Kyle?
This is pretty wild. He actually funded a charity thing and kind of got kicked out because I don't know the exact details, but there's definitely signs of major drama. So he released a statement saying it's devastating that should I say it like Prince Harry? It's devastating that the relationship between the charity's trustees and the chair of the board broke down beyond repair, creating an untenable situation.
Untenable, good word.
So he puts that out, right? And then the chairwoman puts out a statement of her own and says, there's people in this world who behave as though they're above the law and mistreat people, then play the victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct. Which to me sounds like is directed exactly to Prince Harry.
There's just a lot of smart big words in there that I don't understand, but I know it's, whoa.
I know. When I read that, I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened in this charity. Like, wow.
Well, I was going to say, it's sad that's happening because I saw King Charles, who has cancer, had to be hospitalized.
Oh, that is sad.
So if he passes, that makes William the king?
Correct.
Wow. Man.
I know.
That's so wild. All right. What about Kim K?
Kim Kardashian has been really big on helping out with prison reform, and she actually shared one of the things that happened to her that actually inspired her passion to help out with that.
So I went to a women's prison, CIW, and I sat in a room like this. And this one girl was like, my boyfriend had me go get drugs or pick something up at this apartment. And I didn't know that was going to go down and someone died and these crazy stories. And I thought to myself, oh my God, one time my friend had me go pick up ecstasy at this apartment. And what if something happened? And I was like, I literally thought that. Well, I'm getting myself in trouble here.
So her experience that she now knows could have turned out a totally different way helped inspire her. And then she also gave, a little credit, obviously, to her dad, her father's support. It shared.
If you're the drug dealer, who's that? Look like Kim Kardashian.
Getting ecstasy? No
ecstasy. You go back and sit down and watch TV. What? What does Selena Gomez do?
Selena Gomez, she made a rare comment about her past relationships, and she basically said, there were times in the past where she felt like she maybe overreacted and reacted too impulsively to the past relationships, which normally she does never talk about that because everyone kind of knows who she's referring to. Although she could be referring to Charlie Puth. She could be referring to The Weeknd. But everyone assumes that she's referring to Justin Bieber, obviously. And they're like, oh, wow. So maybe this is her taking a little bit of the responsibility for the breakup, too.
You know what I think is big news, and we were talking about it a couple days ago, was about Sydney Sweeney. Mm-hmm.
I know. And now she's officially called off the engagement. Oh. The thing is they say they haven't actually broken up, but they had such major issues that now they were supposed to get married in May, just a couple months away, and they figured they have to postpone the wedding and figure out whether or not they stay together, figure or not whether the wedding is sometime in the future, or if they can work through their issues.
I feel like just after seeing that video of A$AP Rocky and Sydney Sweeney, I feel like she has entered her era of I'm a baddie, I'm a movie star, and I don't need you. That's the vibe that I get.
Oh no, that's bad.
I know. So we'll see how that pans out.
I kind of I felt like it was interesting when the movie that she did with the one guy and everyone thought they were together.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, what is that movie called? I Hate You or Anybody But You. Yeah.
That's the one.
I think those were sparks.
When they were rumored to be together, I was like, oh, it's probably promotion for the movie. But then it kind of seemed like they really did have real chemistry
and they're
there.
Cute together. Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, hot couple of the year.
And when that happened, I wonder if it was the beginning of the end. You know what I mean? For their relationship.
Right. Her man saw that chemistry. Yeah. It don't lie.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on with Will Smith? And I know he's got an album. I don't know if it's out today. Do you guys know his album? Because he's doing a lot of press. You're seeing him everywhere. And you know what's different, which kind of bums me out a little bit, is that back in the day, because he would be on our show because he's promoting an album, dropping a song. These artists would come and do radio. Now it's all about connecting with TikTok influencers. Mm-hmm. And I saw a video that he made, and I was like, who is this person that he's doing this video with? So it's a TikTok person. I click on it, and they have 35 million followers.
Yeah, and all she does is...
Do you know who she is? Brooke or something like that?
I've seen her a million times.
I've never seen her before.
She's popped up on my FYB a million times, but she does a lot of the voiceover singing videos. And she's just a cute girl, which is literally why she has her
So Will Smith probably had his people come out and say, say, hey,
This girl's hot.
get me up. No, I think
Who's big on TikTok?
Who's big on TikTok?
TikTok's where
That's
it's
what I
at.
mean.
Yeah.
Like, this girl's hot
Because
right now. Like, Brooke is everywhere.
he also did a video with the guy, showed Kyle, and Kyle didn't know the guy, but I see the guy all the time. I can't remember his name. He's this black dude. He always talks in the mirror, and then he zooms in on his phone.
I know exactly what you're talking
You know
about.
what
He does the life hack stuff. He'll be like, let me tell you this.
Yeah, he's now on a State Farm commercial.
I believe it.
I just watched it.
him.
I watched. He's a State Farm commercial with Jake from State Farm and Jason Bateman. And Jason Bateman's pretending to be Batman, but he's
Oh,
Batman.
yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so
I mean,
the guy that's Commissioner Gordon is the dude that's, it's like all these TikTok people are getting all over TV.
Well, yeah, and people are obsessed with them. Like, one of my best friends, Megan, like, sends me all of these things of all these TikToks. She's like, look at this girl. Look at her story time. I'm like, like one of your best friends literally does this for a living, right? Like, tune in on the radio, girl. Like, get off TikTok and listen to your friend over here.
All right, we got Jonas Brothers tickets in less than 30 minutes. Here's Shabuzi. It's John Jay and Rich.